So if you're curious, this video I'm going to show you how to use not just kind of dividers based on threshold values, but we can do sort of a moving threshold. So you can see that now we're about 3. If I talk a little louder, we go up to around 7. So let's make something that changes a little bit depending on the microphone volume, more dynamically. So we can choose, let's see if we can choose some colors. I guess we could do that with the pen. So let's always start at 0, 0. And let's also clear screen and put the pen down at the beginning. So this way we start at the sprite starts here at the beginning, or we could even go here to like -200 to bring our sprite over here. And let's move the sprite according to the microphone value. So let us use set X. So forever we're going to set X to the microphone volume. So you can see now it works. If I talk a bit louder, it goes a bit further forward, but not much, because we're going between 3 and maybe 15, tops 20 if I'm really yelling. So let's make this a little bit better. So first of all, to be here at about -200, whatever the value is of the microphone, we are going to say that value -200. So if it's 3, it's 3 minus 200, which means it's still all the way down here. This way we use more of the screen instead of just from the middle to the right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the microphone volume a little bit. So let's multiply it by 4. This way there's a bigger range. Right? We're getting bigger numbers because whatever number we put here, let's say it's 10, is now times by 4, which would make it 40. Right? We could even go a little bit higher, since the highest value I was getting was about 20. So 20 times 4 would be 80, but we could go a little bit higher than that. So let's say we could even do, let's say, times 9. I think that will give us an acceptable range. And we'll put this in the -200 so that it starts over here instead of over here. And let's put that in. Okay, now when I talk loudly, the microphone volume controls the movement of the sprite. Good. I would even say I spoke pretty loudly there and we didn't make it to the end of the spectrum. So let's multiply by 10 or maybe even 12. Okay, that's better. Obviously I'm not yelling, but that's pretty good. So good, we've got this thing moving. Now let's do a few more things. I'm just going to set the pen size to something greater. So let's set the pen size to maybe 25. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's cool. Maybe even 40. Let's try that. Okay, that's cool. Now let's also have it change color depending on the microphone volume. So to do that, we can change the pen hue. There's a couple ways of doing things, but I'm going to do it this way. So in order to do it with the change pen hue, we need to start at a color. We can't start on this gray. So let's choose a color. This is going to be the color when it's at -200. So let's choose a color that is, I guess when we're not talking very loudly, we'll make it this kind of green. So we'll start there. And let's change the pen hue. We can try also by the microphone volume times 12. Let's try that. Okay, so we're getting too much variation. there. So let's try microphone volume times 2. Ba, ba, ah. Okay, that's working out. We can even change the microphone, change the pen hue before we move the pen. Let's see. Wow. Okay, still a little bit too crazy. So let's just put the microphone volume in directly and see how that goes. Ah. Ah. All right, that's not bad. But let's make it even less. I suspect. So to do that, we can try dividing the microphone volume by 2. Because I want to make a nice gradient here where the color doesn't change too much. Ah. Ah. Okay, we're getting better. Apologize for my weird sounds. Let's divide by 10. Ah. 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 Nice. That's better. Very cool. So it does seem also that we're losing our reference, which is starting always at the green, as when it comes back, it's not always green. So I'm going to just put the set pen color to inside the forever loop. So we always kind of start with green and then change the pen hue from the initial green. This is going to mean that this side is always green and this side will always be whatever color it gets to. So let's see. Ah, ah. Okay, so we're not getting enough change now. Let's try this. Ah, ah. Ooh, that's nice. That's looking good. Now we can actually introduce our times again. Bloop. Ah, ah, ma. Awesome. I really like that. I think that's a good example. We've got color spectrum changing depending on the microphone volume as we yell. So here's another cool code example.